Hey guys, Mecha Knight here, and even though I've had this video planned for a while, with the new Pokemon Direct having come out yesterday, this is actually pretty good timing, because today I'm going to be making Pokemon Megas for MSM monsters. If you haven't seen Nova's original video on this, I highly suggest you go watch it. There's some really cool Megas in there, and I'll be using their sort of format for the Megas for mine, so I'll do a quick explanation. For them, they would take the Megas to Gold Island, whose castle is now the official Mega structure, and they would Megafy the monsters before sending them back to their original islands. The monsters will all get one of their elements made Mega, so it's more prominent in the design, and they would make the same sound as their original monster on the original island. Also, they would give boosts like reduced baking time and stuff like that across your entire game, and maybe there's a Mega Island somewhere, I don't know, but that's the ground rules for all the Megas I'm making today. So to start off, I wanted to make Gadzooks, which is probably my favourite Ethereal Workshop monster. I don't know, I'm not sure, but it's pretty up there. I decided to make the more prominent element in that one Crystal, because I just thought it fit well, and it's a pretty simple Mega design, though one I think fits best as a Mega in my opinion out of all the ones in this video. Next up, I did Bona Petite from Wublin Island. It's a bit hard to do Wublins because they only have one element, so it's hard to choose, but for the two that I did do in this video, I did make the electricity more prominent. That one's a lot more changed, but I do think it ends up turning out well, even if I don't really know how it would make it sound anymore. Then I had Schlep, which a lot of people don't like, which I mean, I get it's very ugly, but as a Dream Mythical, I thought I could choose between either the Dream element or the Mythical element. I decided to go with the Dream element, and I made it a lot bigger, kind of, and I imagine it using its hands to throw itself up, and that's how it makes it sound. I really like that design. I can't really explain why, but I do end up really liking it. And then lastly, I decided to do Flores, which obviously the only one I was able to choose was light, but I obviously decided to make it always lit up and standing up. I took inspiration from that one for Mega Gardevoir, because I think in the final product that Mega does end up looking similar to Mega Gardevoir, and that's not a bad thing. I end up really liking it. So out of these four first ones, I think my favourite would have to be Gadzooks, but I'm really happy with them. Anyway, let's move on to our next four Mega Evolutions. Some of you may have already noticed, but even though my past two videos have been using this more simplified art style than my regular ones, since I'm doing MSM videos, this was actually the first set of drawings where I tried that out, and you can probably tell since I was a bit more experimental with it, but I do think it ends up turning out good, and this might be my favourite example of me using it. I don't know, I haven't exactly decided yet. But for these four monsters, I think one of the harder things for me was actually picking the monsters. I don't know, maybe I was a bit picky with it. I could probably make good Megas out of anything, because most of them are just adding spikes and claws and stuff. But I don't know, I was really picky until I found one where I had a really good idea for it. But for these next ones, I decided to choose Zyster, Chorister, Thwock, and the other one, I've forgotten that one's name. And first off, I went with doing Chorister first. And I don't know why, but I decided to make this one look a bit more sort of like an Oni. If you don't know what an Oni is, it's Japanese mythology. It has these cool club things, which is what I turned this one's arms into. And I turned it almost looks like a grenade, which wasn't on purpose. And I changed the colours for this one as well. And I think it looks really cool. And an idea I had for these is kind of like how in Pokemon you get X and Y Megas and Z Megas now. These could have different Megas. This kind of seems like it's a Mega Charizard X situation where it changes a bit more, and there could be a regular Chorister Mega that's a bit more casual of one. For the Mega-fied element in this one, I went for Earth, since obviously it is the Earth pod. But maybe if I do a part 2 to this video, I can do a different Chorister Mega and choose a different element to make Mega. Jeez, how many times can I say Mega in one sentence? Anyway, next I moved on to Zeister, and this is, like, the one that gave me the idea to do, like, multiple Megas. I don't end up doing them in this video, but for this one I kind of made it almost like Dragonite. It's kind of reminding me of. And I thought this one would be, like, a Mega that better represents the Psychic element, and then I could create a more lean Mega, if this video ever gets a sequel, that's, like, closer to the original. And I really like how with these last two, on the other ones, I didn't really think about how they would make the sound. And I really like with these last two, how I actually, like, did kind of think about that and how it makes sense. Can't exactly say the same though for this Mega Flock idea. I have no idea how it would still make it sound, but I do think this might actually be one of my favourites. And you can see what I meant about in bringing the electricity more prominently into the Mega Woodlands designs. And then lastly, we had this Fairy Element monster. I think Fairy fits especially well. Again, don't exactly know how it would make the sound, but I really like all the eyes I did onto the mushroom, and I think that one was a pretty, like, obvious change to have for a Mega. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you want to see more Pokemon Megas for my Singing Monsters, or if you just want to see more MSM content in general. For the next few videos, I think I'll be going back to my regular format, but that doesn't mean I'm done with MSM videos. More are coming in the near future. So let's have a look at these finished Megas.